We're live right now, so this is just like the bloopers and whatnot. While I drink that.
All right, well,
Super professional, you know. Let me see. Can you hear this?
Are you scared?
Can you hear that?
yeah.
Are the cops?
This is what I want to use as the intro.
I turned up and then come down.
This is my boy Coast.
Like I'm off the Mets. Yeah.
Shout out to
When's
Coast.
the last time I woke
I like
up?
it.
Sun went down and sun came up. Long time since I seen my back. Yeah. Turn a new page in my book.
And we won't get copyrighted.
Ain't you see you
He wants all the views on this.
Hell yeah. Let's welcome our viewers to the first episode of Breakdown.
Breakdown.
My co-host Zay and me, Zay.
That's what we call each other. Zay and Zay.
Yeah, tell them a little bit about yourself real quick, Zay, before we get started.
So obviously,
tell them how you got into Cowboys and all that other stuff.
That's a good question. So as I'm looking at other stuff, I get distracted easy, so I apologize for that. So basically, my name's Zay. Yeah, Isaiah calls me. That's Isaiah's name. My name's Jose. Typical, the most common Puerto Rican Hispanic name out there, besides Hector. But yeah, you know what I mean. The reason I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life. A lot of people ask, so I mean, from Jersey. So I'm talking about myself
right,
from Jersey.
That's the first thing they ask.
Born and raised literally right
now.
How you a Cowboys fan? And literally right now we're me personally, I'm 25 minutes from Philadelphia, so that's how close to Philly I am. And the first thing they say is, "How you a Cowboys fan?" And my whole life, my dad's a Cowboys fan. A lot of family members of mine are Cowboys fans, and that's pretty much how I became a Cowboys fan. From him, that's how I became a Cowboys fan and a Yankees fan. And then I like basketball and I like hockey, and I chose those teams myself. But the sports that my dad watched,
right?
It came from him. So that's how I became a Cowboys fan, and I've been cursed ever since. We've been cursed ever since. And we'll get more into that because we're not just your typical. We gonna win it all. We're not those people.
Look,
we
man,
know what we're talking about.
Yeah, if you're watching this podcast, just know we keep it all the way 100 here. We're not one of those fans that are gonna be like, oh, we added Juju and now we're going to the Super Bowl. Like, we're not those. Yeah, we're not those types of fans. A little bit about myself, similar to Zay. In Jersey, played football all the way through high school, not really collegiate. But my dad was a Cowboys fan, so I kind of adopted the Cowboys. Didn't really know what I was getting myself into with this team. I mean, but looking upon it, was it 26 years now, Zay?
For the most part, I mean, I'm 32, but
no, I'm just saying, but 26 years since we
since we last did something, it's been a long time. I mean, I could tell you the exact numbers because after a while, it just becomes
yeah. You just start tagging along. You start tagging numbers, but yeah.
Last Super Bowl was 96, so yeah, we're now, and it's been 26 years, and the last conference championship game, was it 96 as well?
Probably was, bro. It's just, but
it's been a long time. Let's see, 96. 90, yeah, so 96 was the last 95, 96 season was the last time they went in the conference finals, and we beat the Packers. And ever since then, we've been trash. And it's crazy. That's crazy in a sense for me right now that I'm looking at it. Packers 3 years in a row, 95, 96, 96, 97, 97, 98 made the conference finals, which is pretty interesting. And they obviously went to back-to-back Super Bowl. So, that's Brett Favre for you.
Yeah.
That team was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Not to cut you off. It's funny that we're talking about that. So, being as though we haven't been in the playoffs and we made it this year, we got into the playoffs. We had high hopes of this was, I mean, not to be cliche, but this was our year. You know what I'm saying? This was our year to at least make a run, at least at the conference championship, right?
Facts.
And because me and Zay, we never, and it's sad, Cowboys fans, because we 12-5, right? And we're not allowed to brag. We're not allowed to be excited. We're not allowed to, just be excited about
we don't even
our
want to
team.
bring it up.
Yeah, we can't. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, you go to work and you want to, bro, you got people, Eagles fans, you got Washington fans, you got Giants fans who stink, but are horrible, bro. And they still come to work and they still have something to hang their hat on, even though it's trash. But we couldn't do that. So then it got to a point where I'm telling Zay that nah, Kellen, Kellen, I know what Kellen is doing. We don't go through halfway through the first half of the season and put up those types of numbers and go what do we go? We were like what 6-2 or something like that.
Before the bye, before Dak got hurt against the Patriots, which again it was still one of the weirdest injuries I've ever witnessed because it was a game-winning throw off his back foot, and he hurt his what was it, his hamstring? Was it?
Yeah, he hurt something. He tried to. I've thrown that type of pass before. It looks routine. Well, not routine, but it looks easy. But when you throw a pass like that, like you're really stretching your body. And huh?
No. I pulled up ESPN and I'm surprised that Higbee is missing the Super Bowl. That it's off. I know it's off topic, but
yeah,
I just seen that and they activated Darrell Henderson. We'll get into the Super Bowl and predictions later on. I'm ahead of myself.
Hey, just to let you guys know, this is the first episode. We don't just talk Cowboys here. Like probably 80, 85, maybe 90% of what we talk about is going to be the Cowboys. But we do talk about other things around the league. We do talk about, sometimes we might talk about some movies that might come out. We might touch a lot of stuff, but 85, 90% of it is going to be Cowboys news or Cowboys updates, stuff like that. And at times, because me and Zay have different lives, different work schedules, you know what I'm saying? He might pop on here by himself and just update you guys, or I might pop on here and update you guys on what's going on.
And I'm gonna hit you with a correction. He has a life. I don't. He's not a single bachelor. He's taken, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to reiterate, ladies and gentlemen, nowadays we're in 2020.
As you can see, hold on.
Yeah, he's not the one putting on them pumps. He ain't putting those pumps on.
Bro, my fiance does YouTube too, so she's got a whole YouTube room.
But I don't really do anything. I have my own lady, and we have our child, and I'm pretty low key. I work from home, and I'm home most of the time. I'm definitely a homebody. So, but we have different things going on, different schedules, and so things aren't going to be like as much as we want them to be on a timely schedule. It probably won't come up that way.
Yeah.
Back to the topic in hand. Yeah, the Cowboys were for the bye. We were 5-1.
5-1.
So during the season, I remembered this, but since we got eliminated in that debacle of a playoff game, I've tried to erase most of it because I don't want to relive the good times that ended up in hardship. But yeah, so we ended up 5-1. Dak got hurt right before the bye week. Ended up missing the Minnesota game. Cooper Rush threw for 325, led us to a victory. And then we clunker versus Denver, and that's where the shit hit the fan. And this isn't gonna be a PG. This isn't gonna be like a P. Like we gonna talk.
Yeah,
shit hit the fan, and I guess people didn't really see the writing on the wall because we ended up playing Atlanta, and which is the weirdest part. We put up 43 against Atlanta, and then Kansas dropped Kansas City in a close game, 19-9. Thanksgiving, that we haven't won a Thanksgiving game in like what, 3 years, 4 years. lose to Vegas, and then we start winning again. New Orleans, Washington, New York, Washington, taking advantage of the lesser competition. And New Orleans isn't lesser competition, but they have Taysom Hill, and he's not a quarterback.
No, he's a gas
And,
guy.
and then Arizona blew that game, didn't show up. And the writing, if you look at the Cowboys season, the writing was on the wall in those big games, in those big moments. We don't. The biggest issue with this team is no one really knows where the issue is, because is it
You know
head
what?
coach? Is it quarterback? Is it offensive coordinator? Is it all of it?
Yeah, we can. So we might as well just segue into that right now since we're on it. Like you said, we don't know where the hole is, and then sometimes if you feel like you identified a hole, right? You plug it, and then another hole pops, and you're like, oh, okay, we can put some duct tape on that. It's not you know it's not a long term, but we can put some duct tape on it. Water won't go through it. It might leak a little bit, but it's cool. And then you do that, and then another hole pops, and you're like, what? Like, what is going on? Like, this is supposed to be a surefire boat to get us from point A to point B. You know what I'm saying? And every time we turn around, it's another hole poke, whether it be, like you said, coaching. We looked at the coaching staff, and Jerry Jones, which may be one of the top problems in this these list of issues that we have, right? Jerry Jones, he goes and he gets Mike McCarthy. We had him last year. He goes to get Dan Quinn. We still have Kellen Moore coming off a very high last season. Even with he didn't have Dak that season, did he?
That with the year Dak got hurt.
Yeah. No,
Dak
I'm
got
talking
hurt.
about not this season, but last season. Did he have Dak?
Who? McCarthy?
Kellen.
Kellen's had Dak for
No. But what I'm saying is, did he have for a full season?
no. Remember, Dak last year got hurt. He
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we kept Kellen, and then we put a lot of these coaches. And then if you look at some of these coaches that are on the staff, at one point they were head coaches, right? So you possibly can have three head coaches that were previously head coaches on this at some time in their career, and you say, okay, cool. You focus on which your coordinator or whatever. You focus on that. Then we go out, as you guys all know. We get Michael Parsons, we get Jaron Curse, we get Keanu
rookie of the year,
Hill.
by the way. First ever unanimous, I believe, rookie of the year. Or
Yeah,
first ever Cowboys rookie of the year.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Micah.
Micah's season. At this point,
who real quick, just to add to this, that apparently he had a messed up knee that he ended up dealing with,
a hyperextended knee
from preseason, which is wow. If that came up in preseason, that's crazy.
And he played with that, no knee brace, no none of that. Not to say that he needed a knee brace, but I'm just saying he didn't play with any of that stuff, and he performed a defensive rookie of the year type of accolade. And I'll be honest with you, if he wasn't a rookie, because I think they try to divvy out all the awards to each player, but to be honest, if he wasn't a rookie, this was his sophomore year, and he put up those types of numbers again, he probably would have got defensive player of the year.
It was tough when it comes, and again we're jumping over the place because that's just how we are.
Yeah, we do.
But we'll get back to what we were talking about. I'll let Zay get back to what he's talking about. But I don't think he would have got it this year because of the simple fact that what TJ Watt did, you have to credit it. You tied the record for sacks, and he missed a game. And
I'm a little biased.
I'm a little biased as well because Michael Parsons didn't start rushing the quarterback until week 3, 4, something like that.
Yeah, that was another thing. Some people might make that argument, Zay, that TJ Watt was doing what he was doing, but Mike is doing what he did part-time.
TJ Watt, who should have been a Cowboy, by the way. I'm not going to touch base on that because
thank you, Robbie. Thank you, Robbie.
What are you talking about?
Robbie.
Rob Marinelli. Yeah,
Thanks, buddy.
I try to
Thanks.
repress these bad memories, bro. I try to
Yeah,
repress it,
yeah.
and I'm looking at the Cowboys coaching staff, and you said they had like three coaches: Mike McCarthy, Joe Philbin, an offensive line coach, and Dan Quinn. All these guys have been head coaches in the NFL, so there's experience, and there's other experienced guys.
Wait, who's our special teams? Fossil, right?
Yeah, but John Fossil, I don't. He was a head coach somewhere, I believe.
Bro,
Hold
I
on.
think he was a head coach in Miami.
Was he a head? I know he was a head coach. I
Bro,
know his dad was a head
was
coach.
it the no. Was it Miami? Am I thinking the right guy?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think he ever was a head coach.
No.
No, he's been a wide receivers coach, graduate wide receivers, and then he's been a special teams his whole career. He was an interim coach in 2016 for the Rams when they.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily specify when because his Wikipedia is kind of dry. But yeah, he was the interim coach in 2016 for the Rams. So I believe they canned their coach and he took over. So yeah, I mean, it's still head coaching experience for the most part.
Right.
0-3 as head coach. But he is a really good special teams coach.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he's here. Again, disclaimer: people don't like the fact that he loves his guys, and by that we can talk about Greg Zuerlein. We can hit that later
Right.
on. I mean, his numbers they ended up being on par to what he normally does, and where his averages are for his career. So I mean, he is what he is.
Right.
It's hard to find kickers in the NFL. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have a Justin Tucker, you're gonna have issues at kicker. It is what it is, and I'm not making an excuse for him. I'm not. But when it comes to if you need a kick from 50 plus and you have Greg Zuerlein, you have some type of confidence. So
Yeah.
but yeah, continue.
So all right. So that was as you can see, we spent a little bit of time talking about just coaching, right? And then we go out and we get some free agents that play very well. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Zay feels the same way, but I personally feel like you got to bring back JK. You got to bring back J-Rob Curse. If you don't, and you want to put Jabril Cox in that position or that role, it's okay. But he's coming off. What did he tear?
MCL? He tore his ACL. He tore his ACL.
Yeah, players. When you tear ACL, especially if you play running back, quarterback. I'm thinking maybe some tackle places like you can kind of get that back. But me personally, you don't just jump back into especially playing linebacker. You got to explode. You got to get lateral movement. You got to explode into tackling. I think he's still going to be a great player, but I'm not ready to just say, here, you see what J-Ron Curse just did? Go ahead and take his same role and flourish. Yeah. And also you got to remember that I don't know if Micah wants to be I don't think he wants to be Green Dot. And what we mean by Green Dot is just like the quarterbacks have a green dot, they have the mic inside their helmet, and they're pretty much the quarterback. The green dot is usually
they're calling the plays.
Yeah. So
they're calling the plays, getting guys set up.
Yeah, they took it away from Micah and gave it to J-Ron, and he kind of was the person to make sure everybody was in place, and that's pivotal on when you play on a defense, just to get people lined up correctly. I think if you're going to bring back somebody, if you want to get rid of Keanu Neal, I'll take J-Ron Curse over Keanu Neal right now.
Yeah, J-Ron Curse, he does so many things for the Cowboys, and he did so many things for the Cowboys, whether in the box or even up at safety at times. And he was just a playmaker, always nose on the ball, and he was always making plays, creating havoc out there. And that's somebody you need. And he's experienced. He's a vet. Most of the people, even me included, when he was signed, it's quality depth. Let's see what I thought. I thought he was brought in for special.
You're not the only ones. Everybody was like, this guy is going to be a camp body. He's going to be a rotational guy. And then he comes out and
he was the best safety we had. And then
Bro,
no
his
knock on the other guys we had, but he was the best one we had.
his Twitter bio says tight end eraser, and that's what he did.
Yeah, and I think he's priority number 2 for the Cowboys. I personally think this. I know priority number 1. Everyone knows it's Randy Gregory for the Cowboys. That's who they
Right.
want to bring back. Which
Yeah.
was I brought up the list of free agent players the Cowboys are going to have this or having or this year right now that they're bound to lose. And I wanted to go by real quick and touch on you. And I just want a yes or no. Do you want? I don't know if I should say, do you want to bring them back or do you think they're back with the Cowboys? So yes or no.
Okay, if they're going to be back, if I think it's a good chance that they're going to be back on the team.
If they're going to be back on the team.
Okay, go ahead, shoot.
So all right, so we're gonna start off with Michael Gallup.
Whew. My guy MG. I'm gonna say no.
Oh wow. And it's interesting because I don't know if you've seen the photo I sent you earlier. Michael Gallup talking about he believes he did enough to earn a payday.
Bro.
or earn his pay. And I know I sent it to you. I think I sent it to you.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, every time I walk into work, I feel like I've earned, a $2 raise too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean Michael Gallup deserves his bag. Obviously, he had a down year.
I'm not saying. I think MG deserves his bag. I think he's done enough. I think he's shown enough, but I just don't think he's going to get it from the Cowboys.
Oh no, there's no way he gets it from the Cowboys.
We just don't have the money. He would have to go in that locker room or make personal phone calls, FaceTime calls, and be like,
"Wow,
what's that?"
Michael Gallup. Wait a minute. Michael Gallup admits Jerry Jones' hands-on relationship makes him nervous but thankful. Interesting. And that's just an interesting take because we definitely have to talk about Jerry Jones and what he does and how he affects his team in the positives and in the very negatives.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to pull up the exact quote of what he said because I don't want people to try to say I take it out of context. But it is a crowded wide receiver class. It's going to be interesting, the offers that Michael Gallup gets, because before the season started, a lot of people thought that he was going to he was gone. A lot of people thought he was going to get the bag somewhere else because he is he could be wide receiver 1 for a different team, and that's just not in Dallas. And that's just how they use him.
I'm not ready to say he's wide receiver 1. But
I mean,
he's definitely a solid 2. I'm not
saying that he's wide receiver 1 caliber. I'm saying he goes to the Jets, he's wide receiver 1.
Oh yeah.
He goes to Patriots, he's wide receiver 1.
Okay, yeah, you're talking about a team like that.
Yeah. I mean, and the Jets have the young kid Elijah Moore, who's a beast. But they'll complement each other well.
He's a beast. If he went to the Jets, right, and paired up with Elijah Moore.
But a lot of people think the Jets are going to get Dalton Schultz. But let me go down the list because we're
okay. My bad.
LVE, Leighton Vander Esch, Wolf Hunter.
Gone.
Randy Gregory.
He stays.
Your favorite player, Connor Williams.
Gone.
Your least favorite player, Dalton Schultz.
And
I'm just messing around.
If he takes a what do they call it?
A hometown discount?
Hometown discount, he stays.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dalton Schultz, gone. He ain't coming back. If the Cowboys bring him back, that's a mistake on their end. And I love Dalton Schultz. I love what he did. I love what he can do. But he's limited in the run game and he holds off.
So who we gonna get it back to? Balake?
Balake Jarwin, the guy that got the bag a couple years ago.
Oh, I'm not sold on Balake, bro.
I'm not. We weren't.
I was sold. I could say it. When we got Dalton Schultz from Stanford, I was like, I like this kid.
Good pass catcher, but he does.
I'm like, yo, it's good. Everybody, who is that guy? I don't want him. He's not Jason Witten. Blah blah blah. We already have Blake Jarwin, and then Blake Jarwin went down that same season, and Dalton Schultz, he didn't have his coming out year, but he did just enough, and I was like, yeah, that kid's gonna be good. Then look at him. He got the starting job, and he never gave it back.
This is true. He never gave it back, but he
He
can't.
never gave it back.
He can't run black to save his life.
Yeah, I know.
Cedric Wilson, my boy, Ceddy.
Said he's going to give them a hometown discount because he wants to stay. He likes Texas. He likes Dallas. He likes the no tax. He's going to give him a hometown discount. He's going to stay.
I hope so. I hope you're right there. I don't know. Ceddy showed enough this year to entice a team.
Jerry's going to make that work, right? If MG doesn't come back, right? You can't let two wide receivers that contributed to your season last year go, and then you go into the offseason, right? Listen to me. You go into the offseason with Amari Cooper, right?
Question mark.
Question mark on Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb, Simi Fehiko.
That's it. That's right now. You're right now. Right now, the Cowboys roster is Simi, Lamb, and Coop. And Coop is a question mark.
Coop is a question mark. So you have to bring you go talk to Seti and you say, yo, you're going to be wide receiver number 3.
Yeah, I mean, no. Obviously, there's a draft, and there's other guys that they'll look at in free.
But this is what I don't like. We not to get off topic. We're not. This is gonna be a quick segue, real quick. But this is what we don't like. You draft Simi Fehiko, right? And bro, when do we see him?
He dressed for like 4 games. I don't even think he played. He definitely didn't get no targets.
No,
not that I remember.
No tick. How is he not getting no tick, bro?
That's coaching. Maybe he wasn't ready, but I don't
see at least what you have. At least because guess what? Now we're going to an off season, right? And now we have to base it off of what the coaches think he can do, compared to this is what he can do. I know he says that he was working all season, getting stronger, and he can block and he's getting crisper on his routes. And then we put him out there that third game in a package, and he's shell shocked and he's dropping passes, and his routes don't look crazy. He's not getting open. But that's neither here nor there. I digress.
And we know Dak, and we know Dak, and Dak needs to feel comfortable with his receivers.
If Dak, look, you always know who Dak is comfortable with because they get a lot of the targets, especially on third down.
Yeah.
Dalton,
a lot of targets.
This guy, right? And a lot of the lack of offense you see has to do with play calling as well. But Dalton does a really good job of finding space in zones or shielding, even if it's man-to-man, shielding.
He's not coming back.
I'm just telling you the reason why he's always open on third down is because he does a great job finding the zone, and then he does a great job with shielding against littler people like linebackers or cornerbacks. Hence the reason why he's a third down guy, because Kellen Moore, all he does is run hitches and
dump offs, track screens.
Yeah, screens, rocket screens, bubble screens, breaking in routes,
jet sweeps,
reverses,
double reverses,
reverse pass
on the 3rd and 2, taking 17 yards back.
We're done.
As you see, that's what we feel about Kellen Moore. We didn't even touch.
Yeah,
we didn't even touch the tip of the iceberg with that guy. But yeah.
Okay, so Dalton and all right. So who's next?
Is that Seti? Where's Seti? Carlos Watkins, maybe. I mean,
nah.
He did end the year with an interception, a touchdown, a fumble recovery, 17 solo tackles, and 5 tackles for a loss. I mean,
let me explain something to you. These free agencies that we got, pickups that we got, everybody except for Jalen Curse, right? Unless you're giving Jerry, right? Unless you're getting him one of those burgers and putting the salt and pepper on there.
That was a McGriddle, ladies and gentlemen. If you watch, it was a McGriddle from.
I don't think it wasn't a McGriddle.
Bro, it was like 7 a.m.
Nah, remember the other episode he had got a burger from, was it Whataburger?
I don't remember that part. I remember the McGriddle, and he was over there dumping off mad salt and pepper on him. What are you doing, bro? It's like 8 in the
Bro, I
morning,
feel
my
like
guy.
his cholesterol has to be sky high, bro.
I don't know. I ain't a billionaire, so I can't say anything.
Look,
It works for him.
I don't judge anybody's personal eating habits. I'm not gonna say I got the best physique, but
I
to
do.
add to to add salt to processed food already is just crazy to me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
That's insane to me. But that's neither here nor there. So Watkins, I don't think he comes back.
No, Keanu. Now it gets to the nitty gritty, and it gets real interesting. Keanu Neal, DeMonte KZ, Jaron Curse, Brian Anger, Pro Baller Ryan. I think Brian Anger definitely.
Brian Anger's coming back. You don't let go of a pro. You don't let go of a pro.
But here's where it gets interesting in the bottom portion of these free agency. Darian Thompson, trash as a starter. But,
great special teamer.
But pretty good special teamers. Jake McQuaid, obviously, he's a 2-time Pro Baller, is a long snapper. I think he comes back. And why I say that as well, we talked about it earlier. Bones Fossil, that's his guy. There's a reason the Cowboys moved on from LP.
So what Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones allow Bones to do is that Bones goes in and he bangs on the table that, look, these are plays that I like to run. These are plays that I like to run in these situations. And I had like this coach player telepathy with these, and the more of these people that I have in, like that are that know have done this before, the better off the play will be. So Jerry's going to try to keep those special team guys. Hence the reason why I think John Fossil might bang on the table to say, I want Seti back and I want Thompson back.
Cedric Wilson definitely stepped up as wide receiver 3, so I wouldn't mind him back. I'm a big fan. I think he is who he is, though. I think what you've seen this year is pretty much what to expect moving forward. Can he get a little bit better with reps? Yes, everybody can. Can he get way better? Obviously, anybody can. But I do think he is who he is. And if he gets a little bit better, that's great. But the production he gave us this year would be amazing to bring him back. But like for example, just to not run down this list because it's really not that important. Noah Brown, I'm ready to move on from him.
Yeah, he's out. He's out. He's a blocking tight end with the wide receiver position.
Yeah. Like he's a hybrid wide receiver tight end with mediocre hands.
And on top of that, it's so easy to scheme against that guy. If he comes out there, they're not throwing him the ball.
And they tried before and he would drop it. It's just like
he's not. Bro. You don't want to make it that easy for a defensive coordinator to say, "Hey, look, you see 85 trotting on the field. Yeah, it's either play action, he's staying in the block, or he's gonna run out, but Dak's not gonna throw it to him because he can't catch."
But the Cowboys do make it that easy for everyone. So what the hell are we talking about? That's what they do. Maurice Candidate, again, he's a journeyman. If they bring him back, cool.
He's gone.
But Ty and Shecky, he's like 52. No, you got to move on from him.
Out.
Brent Urban's interesting. He only played 6 games.
I like Brent Urban from what we can see. It was just unfortunate that he got injured. Excuse me.
He only played 6 games. And it's not a coincidence, not to cut you off. It's not a coincidence that the Dallas run game, the run defense was actually good, really good. Like the defense as a whole was great for the most part, but their run defense started to get exploited. And there was a bunch of different injuries that happened throughout the year. But one of the key ones was Brent Urban, because that's literally what they brought him in for, to help the run game, to stuff and clog. And when he went down, you started to see those runs, those holes open up for opposing teams, and they were able to gash us. And I think that was a big part of it, the fact that we didn't have a Brent Urban, and the Cowboys really don't have one of those type of guys who you can plug in and say, hey, look, stop the run. And this win is crazy. It kind of feels like someone's trying to open my door, but I'm assuming it's the win. I mean, we live, so we'll find out what the hell's going on.
Right.
But yeah, I keep hearing the clunk, 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 clunk. And that's just but yeah.
But it's crazy. To get off top just a little bit, it's crazy what the defense was able to do throughout the season, as far as meshing free agency, free agents with homegrown players. That's what they like to call them, homegrown players. And then having injuries, right? And still being able to put out a pretty nice product on the field. If you would have told me in the beginning of the season that, hey, you're going to have a lot of injuries on defense, you're going to have some free agents that are going to be plugged in at starting positions, key roles on your defense, where do you think there's going to go? I'm like, average, but below average at best type of defense, right? But they were able to mesh and actually be a pretty good defense. With that being said, and then you go to the
Credit to
offensive
Dan
side of the
Quinn.
ball.
Credit to Dan Quinn on the
Yes,
defensive side. He won the assistant coach of the year, which is it's a big award in
yeah,
the NFL. And for a defensive guy, what he did with Dallas, big ups, and there's a reason why he had so many head coaching interests and interviews.
yeah. And then you go on the offensive side of the ball, and
Poop,
yes,
poop.
and it's sad. It's sad because every year we say it's okay. Like, look, last year, right? Last year, offense, we're like, nah, we're good on offense. We'll be straight. Nobody worry about it. Blah, 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 blah. We're good. And then, boom, it's the complete opposite. We're great on defense, and you're like, what the hell happened on offense? And then watch, I won't even be surprised. I look, and I don't know about Zay, but I'm super. Before this season, I was super. What's it called?
Excited?
No. No. Superstitious? Is that?
Oh, superstitious?
Yeah, superstitious. Basically, bro, I wouldn't wear like Cowboys stuff like
Oh yeah,
before
definitely.
the game. I wouldn't look at, even on social media, I wouldn't like certain posts,
Wow.
just because I was being superstitious. And then I was like, I'm doing all of this and they still let me down.
Yeah.
I might as well just do what I want.
Fun fact, fun story. I used to do the same thing. Like Zay knows, I have, I try to match jerseys with what they're playing on, with what jersey they wear on game day. And call me what you want, I'm a grown man. And yes, I wear jerseys because I am a fanatic. That's that's where fan
Yeah,
comes from.
yeah.
And I used to not wear specific jerseys on game day because I would think this was cursed. Like, oh, we're 0-2 when I wear this. And then I sat back and I started realizing, like, this team you're gonna lose when they're gonna lose. Like, that's what it is.
It
Like,
don't matter what jersey
it don't matter who I got on. I got Diggs, got Parsons, got Zeke, got Dak. It don't matter. They're gonna lose.
It don't
Like,
matter.
It does not matter. I could wear Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, all of it. It does not matter. They're gonna lose when they want to lose. They're gonna win when they're gonna win.
Yeah.
But I'll still keep that same style that on game day I'll wear the same jersey that the team's wearing. I don't know, it's just a weird thing for me.
Yeah,
But
man.
fun story.
Yeah, man. I was super superstitious, and now I'm going into next year. It's almost and I'm pretty sure Zay can contest to this, but like, we were just like every other Cowboy fan after we took that loss in the playoffs. Everybody was angry. Everybody wanted to. That's another thing. Cowboys fans, if I'm going to give you any advice, please, guys, please stop being those fans, right? As soon as something bad happens, you guys are ready to just throw the whole team in the trash and start over. Excuse me. This isn't Madden. Like, you can't just scrap a whole team, or you guys say, hey, trade away Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper, CD Lamb, and then we're going to go out and get Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Smith, Adams, and we're going to get Cook, and we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. These are real people. These are real people. You know what I'm saying? This is real money invested. I know it's very easy for us to talk about. We talk about these contracts so much, and we see it on TV so much that people like it falls kind of on deaf ears. You know what I mean? We actually get more surprised if somebody doesn't get big money. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's an interesting topic because you don't necessarily hear that a lot. That these contracts, like Dak made 75 million this year. Sit,
$75 million,
sit,
bro.
sit back, and just let that sink in for 2 seconds.
$75 million. And
By the Dallas Cowboys, not including his other endorsements, as you've seen him.
he's got a lot of endorsements.
You will see him Sunday with the sleep number. You will see him on other endorsements.
Jose, and
$75 million alone.
That's national endorsements, let alone the ones that he has
Locally.
in Dallas, in Arlington, you know what I mean, in Houston, where he goes into these little mom and pop shops just to say, hey, look, I got me a burger. Come on down to so and so and get yourself a Dak burger.
How do you get Dak Prescott? Just like you get Dak Prescott, who's on sleep number commercials and all these other commercials, signed with Jordan. How do you get him to be the face of your small business? Like, what do you offer? You eat here for free for life.
25%.
Like, you give him ownership, like
yeah, 25%, or invest stock.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that. It's just something you think about, like,
right? If he's really invested, right? Let's just say we had a car wash, right? And I say, cool, 10% of your earnings, right, that you're going to give to me, you donate it to a charity.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll come out. I'll do one commercial. Right? I'm not going to be coming here, once every 6 months to make a new commercial. I make one commercial. You guys run it. That's it.
That's true. Yeah.
And leave it like that. And it runs strictly in Houston or Arlington or whatever it is. But he's making money, bro. The guy, $75 million, guys. $75 million. So we said all that to say, you can't just cut everybody and
there's a salary.
Get rid of everybody. You have to make it work. And I'm pretty sure I want to say this earlier in the show, but each one of those position coaches, each one of those coordinators are I'm pretty sure, I want to say it's just Mike McCarthy in there, but I'm pretty sure it's Jerry, Steven, probably Will. They're all sitting at that long table. They all got their food and their drinks and their laptops and
McGriddles
pencils and McGriddles and papers. And they're all sitting down, right? And they go down a line and they say, okay, DQ, who do you need? Who on this list do you need and what is your philosophy for next year, right? What do we want to get better at? What do we want to fix, right? And he says, I need Brett Urban. I need Jaron Curse. He's going to say he wants all of them back, right?
Yeah.
He wants KZ back. He wants all that, right? And then
Stephen Jones is going to come in and like, well,
yeah,
we
exactly.
Can't spend this much money now.
Yeah. We're not going to be able to do that. And then, right? DQ counters acts and says, I know KZ. I know him for a long time. I know Neil. You know what I'm saying? I got really close with Jaron Curse. You know what I'm saying? I might be able to ask them, hey, look, aside from your agent, like, do you want to stay in Dallas? Is this where you want to be at? You know what I'm saying? They'll talk coach to coach, and then they'll go from there. Then you get John Fossil. John Fossil will do the same thing, and they go down. And then after that, they figure out what players they want to bring back, right? And then that's when you start crunching numbers. How do we get all these players that we want? Let's just say it's 6 or 7 players that we want to bring back.
And
how do we do that?
That in itself is a great segue to what we, one of the biggest elephant in the rooms when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys in this upcoming season, because they are essentially 26 million over the cap. They're not in great cap situation, and that all can be reworked. So when you say that, they have no salary cap, that's all. Dak's. I'm pretty sure Dak already restructured. He's
Let me explain something to you. Not to cut you off, Zay. I remember, was it 2 years ago? It was recent. I want to say within the last 4 or 5 years, we were in salary cap hell. And then all of a sudden, we were like, holy smokes. How do we get all this money? Where do we get all this money from? And they restructured. I think that was the time that they restructured a whole bunch of the offensive line money.
Yeah.
And they saved all that money. And then on top of that, right? If you guys think that Jerry Jones doesn't go into those negotiations and says, "Hey, look, I won't give the money to you on paper, but I'll give the money to you off the books," which means
I don't know if he could do that.
no. Listen. If he personally donates to a charity, right, or something like that, let me tell you something. These guys didn't become. You guys understand? Jerry Jones was a businessman.
He is a businessman first,
Yes, he's a businessman,
and which
all right?
affects the way he runs the Cowboys as a general manager.
Exactly. So if he's gonna find a way to get you money off the books and make you happy, and say, "Hey, look, I wanted to invest in this strip mall. Okay, I'll get you 2 strip malls." That's off the books, right?
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do on the books? You know what I mean? Let's take off about 4.5 million, and Jerry will run down the numbers. Okay, look, I'll get you this strip mall right here, this strip mall right here, and have somebody come down, break in the numbers. You know what I mean? Talk to your agent, all that other stuff. That's why all that stuff takes so long. If you guys think that people just come in and say, "Hey, like Madden, click, 42.5 million for 3 years." No, click 4 years. Okay, that's a good offer. And then you hit enter. You know what I mean? And then they get it in an email and they say, "Oh, this is great," and they thumbs up it and it works. It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work that way. No, and some of these guys are, like Madden will overpay for some players. Not some of these players just don't deserve to get paid like they expect and they think.
I'm mad that I even brought up the name Madden in our Madden.
Well, not rest in peace to John Madden, but the game EA Sports is trash.
Oh yeah. Rest in peace to John Madden. I'm talking about the game.
No, the game booty cheeks, poop.
Cheeks.
So yeah, the cap, the cap in itself, you got to restructure Dak. That's the way they designed his contract is so they can restructure and move money around so they can free up space because he's taking 16% of the cap. DeMarcus Lawrence, again, he's another guy.
Flat out, he has to take a pay cut.
He's got to take a pay cut, and I think he will. He
knows he has to take a pay cut. He has to take a pay cut.
Yeah, his cap hit is 27 million. His base salary is
million?
Yeah, that's the cap hit. So his base salary is 19. I think that's what he's supposed to get with 5 million signing.
Nah,
they could rework that. They have to rework that because if he hits a free agency market, he's not getting 19 million. But I'm sure if they say, "Hey, look, we'll give you, we work that, you get 14 million." That's what he would get in the free agency market, or we cut you and you get nothing, or we'll deal with whatever you get.
Consequences after that.
And I don't think DeMarcus Lawrence wants to leave, and he wants to keep Randy Gregory, which is the reason why the Cowboys have to make all these moves to be able to sign him. That's why Amari Cooper, whose cap hit is 22 million, and he's making 20 million this year. That's why he's such a big question mark for the Dallas Cowboys, because as good as he is, I mean, they gave up a first round pick and he proved them right, and he's huge for Dak. He does disappear at times, but it's not always all on him because it falls on Kellen Moore and the fact that he does not get his best players the ball all the time. What happens with Coop? You can restructure his money. You can kick the can down the road. You can restructure him. You can free up a lot of space just by guaranteeing it to him as a signing bonus and move the money down the road. And I would do that because the Cowboys are a win. Their window was open, and it's shut.
It is
drastically. Like the window
the window was pretty. Let's just say this is the biggest. Let me be in camera. Let's just say the window was this big, right?
Yeah.
And then as we're going, bro, that window. That's why this is exactly why you've seen the front office react the way they reacted from this season. Because they were like, "Oh, okay, the window's small, but look, we're about to squeak through here." And then, what do? We were flying through the window, and we clipped the wing, and we couldn't recover, and then crashed. Done.
It's bad, and Ezekiel Elliott takes up. He's going to take up because we have to talk about Zeke. He takes up 8.5% of the cap.
I don't want
18 million on the cap hit, and I'm not saying
he might have to take a pay cut too,
and that's hard because I think the way it's structured is like he's not going to take a pay cut
for this team and for this offense to flow, right? What will be the one and only sole reason you play a running back that in week 4 got injured, right? And you continue. Yeah, if you guys can hear it, my stomach's growling. Sorry, but could you hear it?
I didn't really hear it. Nah, but you emphasized it, so it's.
Oh yeah. My bad.
I probably did hear it, but
anyway,
it's
the
just
one
funny.
sole reason why you continue to play a guy that's injured is because you got somebody in the skybox saying, "Hey, that's my $15 million running back right there. Put him out there anyway." But when you got somebody like Tony Pollard sitting in, the shadows saying, "Hey, look, I just make the best of my opportunities. When I get out there, I do work." Instead of Jerry going to the players, if I was a player, right? Let's say I'm Zeke, right? Zay, you come in and ask me for a pay cut. Go ahead.
Take a pay cut.
And I'm Zeke, and I say, okay, you want me to take a pay cut? Sure. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that you asked to take a pay cut. That's cool. But if you're going to ask me for a pay cut, I want Kellen Moore in here, and I want to hear you tell him that he's got to do better at getting us the ball and putting us in better positions. I want you to be in here. I want to be here when you tell Kellen Moore that we need TP and me in the backfield at the same time.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to ask these players to take pay cuts, for what? You asked me to take pay cuts to do put that same offense on the field?
Yeah.
Hell no.
And that's to abandon the run, because that's another thing about Kellen Moore. He abandons the run. Now, mind you,
he abandons the run because it's predictable.
Well, he's predictable, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. First down, we're up the gut. Second down, maybe off tackle, but it's going to be probably up the gut. Then we get 3rd and 7. He's either going to throw it to Schultz or he's going to try to do a play action, and it's either going to be a drop pass, right? A completed pass for 6 yards, or a first down, but it's going to be a holding penalty.
Yeah, and the thing with the Cowboys is, one, no creativity when it comes to the run game. No guards pulling, no misdirections. It's just the same traditional, dive.
And I don't not to cut you off, right? Kellen could be banging on the table to say, I had inadequate players for a whole season. I had a left guard that if I was afraid to let him pull because he's just going to it's just going to get blown up. I had a center that couldn't move anybody. So how is he going to seal a DT, right, and have me pull a right guard or pull a left guard? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I had inadequate players. So he might be saying, hey, look, my offense looked weak because of that. I probably said about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I don't care who it is on this team. Zeke, Dak, Amari, and it's a lot of people probably going to say it's probably cliche, but we go as that offensive line goes. We were the best when we had the best offensive line. And I know you could probably put that on a lot of different teams, but that's just how the Cowboys operate. That's the type of players we have. Everything has to be lined up. The stars got to be lined up. The fans have to be in sync. The football gods have to want us to go to it, and we have to have the best players. That's just at least the best offensive line. Because you look at other teams, you look at Kansas City, you look at the Rams, you look at the 49ers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the 49ers have a solid offensive line.
But what I'm saying is they don't like. All right, I'll put it to you like this: the Chiefs last year had two of their starting offensive tackles missing, and they were in the Super Bowl and still almost won it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they got blown out in the Super Bowl.
That's not the point, Zay.
They made the Super Bowl, but look.
But the point.
I know what you're getting at, because
the point that I'm trying to make is that we need Tyron play high. We might need a Zion Johnson. I don't want to get into draft.
We'll have a whole draft discussion.
Yeah, we'll have a draft
after the Super Bowl, because that's Sunday. And speaking of offensive lines and we'll segue into the Super Bowl as we get close to ending this. We're about to hit an hour soon, and we don't want to make these super long,
Right.
because we can talk football for hours.
Yeah,
But
yeah, 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 definitely.
especially Cowboys football, because it's either high high or low low, no really in between with this team. There's always something. But speaking of offensive lines, the Chiefs. It's a team that's a team that spends a lot of money, and they have the franchise quarterback. They paid the franchise quarterback. He's the highest paid quarterback of all time, and they still went and found a way to revamp that offensive line this all season. They made the necessary moves via free agency to rebuild
Yep.
that offensive line, and they didn't make it to the Super Bowl because they choked. And all credits to the Bengals, but that to go to the Bengal to flip
I was
onto
about
the
to say,
Bengals
even the
side.
Bengals. Look at the Bengals.
The Bengals side, their offensive line's not good. They give up a lot of sacks, and
But they're in the Super
but they're
Bowl.
in the Super Bowl, and that's credit to Joe Burrow, who I knew when I watched him at LSU, the kid was special. And when he got drafted, I said that kid's gonna be special. And when I watched his rookie year, I said that kid's gonna be special. And I
Whoa,
have a
whoa,
friend.
whoa, 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 whoa. Does that are you? Is that a prediction?
We'll get to that. We'll get to
Is
that.
that a prediction,
It
sir?
it is we'll touch on that in a little bit, but I have a buddy, an old coworker who I still can contact with, who's a Bengals fan. He's from Jersey. He's a Bengals fan, and like
Uh-huh.
there's not many of them. And throughout the year, I've been talking to him and on this whole playoff run, and I've always told him Joe Burrow's special. That kid, he's got it. He's got it. And there's some guys that have it. And it's sad to say, but watching the Cowboys and watching Dak Prescott, I used to think he had it, and I'm not saying I don't think he has it anymore, but you do have to question it. You do
Yeah.
have to question if Dak still has it, especially now that he got paid.
Look, I'm trying to tell you, he still has it. He has it. But
But if you're telling me
every
that he needs everything to go his way, because Joe Burrow, he makes
he's
plays.
not Zay, he's not Joe Burrow. That's what I'm saying. Dak, look, let me explain
I
something to
know
you.
Dak is Dak and Joe Burrow's Joe Burrow. They're two
That
different guys.
no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Dak needs a very good run game, right? He
Which Joe
needs
Burrow has. He has a number 3 leading rusher in the
he
backfield in
needs
Joe
a very
Mixon.
good run game. He needs to be able to do play action. And then you want Dak to be able to use the gunslinging as kind of a last resort, right? When we seen Dak
But if you're paying your
gunslinging down,
quarterback that much money, why does that have to
yeah,
be the last resort? When you're paying your quarterback that much money, he should be the guy leading you. And I'm not telling him to be Tom Brady or
okay,
Aaron Rodgers, but he should be the
but we
guy.
got a
And
running
he
back that's
has.
we got a running back that's making a lot of money too.
Yeah. So
We got
I
a wide
think
receiver that's making that's the thing about this team, that everybody gets their money. You know what I'm saying? And you can't. I'm pretty sure if it goes like this, right? If Zeke
I
is
think
running
there's
up
too
and
many
down the
cooks in the
field and
kitchen.
we're winning and we're eating up clock and it's 27-10 and Zeke is on a Pro Bowl year, then Jerry's like, okay, I paid my guy. We're doing good. We're winning. That's why you didn't hear nothing from Jerry too much. I mean, in the beginning of the season, me and Zay used to say it all the time. We go on Twitter. This dude's he's damn near telling the plays. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
He first of all, bro, he's got a podcast and he's got a radio show and all this other stuff. But that's neither here nor there. It's just I'm trying to tell you, this team, and I'm talking about in totality, right? This team goes as the offensive and defensive line goes.
Which is true.
I would not be surprised, guys. Don't be surprised. Not to talk too much draft talk, but if those big name players, N'Kobe Dean, Lloyd, uh, um, who else? Stingley.
He's gonna drop. He's
Yeah.
gonna be in arm's reach. I know he is.
Ooh.
He's
Yeah.
gonna be in arm's reach. And I think you're gonna get this. He's gonna probably end up in the NFC East.
And
Unfortunately.
then who else? Those top defensive players, if they're not there, we're going offensive line. You might as well just go ahead and prepare yourself. Don't think that we're about to get we're gonna pull a seeding lamb this year, because we're not.
But you never know, because we're assuming, you can't go under the assumption that the other GMs know what they're doing and the other teams know what they're doing, because teams reach every year, and that's how the Cowboys end up with who they end up with.
Yeah, watch somebody.
Because that if we're one thing you give credit to when it comes to building a team is that one thing they do great is they do find talent in the draft, and they do find clunkers, and they do mess up, and I can, that's you got to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad, which is what frustrates me the most with this team is that they do so well in the draft and bringing their own talent. Why not complement that with some quality free agency pickups that where you have a hole at, and there's a free agent. Why not put two and two together and get
As
four?
all
But
right,
you
so
want to
as you
do
guys are
two and
going to see,
two and get five, or not even get four, you get three because you go and get two. You have two good drafts, and you go get two bums, and you don't get that four as opposed to getting that two and free
as you can
agency.
see, Zay is a free agency guy.
I am. I'm a guy who understands this.
The value in free agency.
There's value in there's not value in overpaying guys. There's not value in going all in free agency and just trying to plug and play. But there's value in understanding where your team is at. And the Cowboys are a team that their
Like signing
window
a Brent Irvin.
their window is right there. It's closing. They're a team that's contending every year with Dak Prescott, with the talent that they have. They're right there. They just need those other players to elevate them. I'm not saying go be all in like the Rams, but there's a reason the Rams are in the Super Bowl. Great
Yeah.
coaching, and they're willing to invest in their team via free agency or trade market. The Cowboys don't do that. The Cowboys will stick to their guns with a weak center, weak left guard. They'll stick to their guns with a weak and they address the defensive tackle situation, so I can't knock them on that. But weak cornerback in terms of Anthony Brown, who they love, and some people,
Anthony Brown's got to go.
I think he's got to go. I think if you want to keep him, you move him into the nickel situation. You move him into the slot. That's where he's best suited at. And we have, boss man Fat, who should have got playing time, and that's another discussion for another day. So
just to get all right, we're going to be off draft talk, and then we're going to talk about our predictions for the Super Bowl. But just to, one last thing, what they did in the draft to flip this defense, right, is what they're going to have to do this draft to flip this offense. Right, and don't be surprised. They double dipped on linebacker. Don't be surprised if you don't see them go get a offensive line like Linderbaum, Zion, who's other. Hey, what's my boy from Alabama? What's his name? Is it Neil? I forgot. But the tackle.
I forgot. I mean, there's the guard from Texas A&M, Kenyon Green.
Yeah, if those guys fall, don't be surprised if you see us double up. I wouldn't even be surprised if we go first round offensive lineman, second round we get some type of star defense player, and then the rest.
This mock draft is interesting, and then we don't want to get into mock drafts and get into players, but they're looking at they're mocking Charleston Rambo, receiver from Miami, to Dallas in the third round, and his comp that they comp to is Michael Gallup. Interesting.
Wow. Interesting.
I have to look more into him, and I'm a Miami University fan. So is they.
Yeah.
We still like
you guys aren't gonna like me a lot. There's a lot of college teams out there, and I like a lot of college teams.
And then I feel like college team is not as I mean, there's definitely as dedicated.
It's too many good teams for me just to have one. Me personally,
yeah.
I love Miami,
but I watch a lot of teams in college. It comes on. I really like underdog teams too.
I like
for
Miami.
the most part.
I like
Chris Olave. Like, what the hell kind of mock draft is this? Why are we taking a wide receiver in the first round? If the Cowboys do that, that's ridiculous,
bro.
And then in the second round, Isaiah Likely, a tight end from Coastal Carolina.
That's not likely.
In the third round, Bowie Mafe. I probably butchered that name. So you're telling me that you're going to go in the fourth round and address the offensive line and Tyrese Robinson from Oklahoma, and then go with a linebacker in the fifth? You're going to draft one offensive lineman? No. This mock draft is poop. Poop.
Bro,
and ignore the safety position, ignore the offensive line, and address wide receivers. Well, again, this free agency class is deep at wide receiver. We mentioned Juju for a reason because Juju said he's got some interest in Dallas. Juju had a bad season, relatively bad season, has some injuries. You can get Juju for a decent amount. He paid for $4 million this year, I believe. No, he probably paid for a little bit more. I don't know exactly what he made, but you can probably get him on a 1-year deal that you can fit him into the cap. Same with Gallup. You can bring him back. Same with Cedric Wilson. these guys are all proven in the sense that you can plug them in and they can perform adequately for what you need. You
Right.
have CD Lamb. You right now you still have Cooper, and if you get rid of Cooper, you can spread this money out and then add different players. And
Okay.
there's also trades. There's also trade options too, but the Cowboys don't do that either because they're poop.
Yeah. That's another thing, bro. If you're not going to keep
Because
the
I personally
why wouldn't you try to get some type of value?
I
But
personally believe that this is just my opinion from what I'm seeing. I think there's a couple teams that are in cap hell that are going to be willing to pretty much give away players. Look at the Saints, and I forgot the other
the
team.
Saints, if the Saints, I have no idea how the Saints are going to get. What is negative 60?
Yeah, they're like 70 million over the cap.
70 million? How?
They have
How
and
are
and
they
that they
are
have
they even
quality
going to
players.
are they even going to be able to pay their rookies that they signed? Because don't you have
No,
to save at least $7 million?
at least 7 million. They're gonna have to gut. They're gonna have to cut. They're gonna have to waive, trade. They're gonna be giving away players. You're gonna see a lot of Saints
Let me tell you
players be
something.
given away.
This draft, because of a lot of teams are in salary cap hell. Watch how big players, like big name players, get drafted for picks and all that other stuff. Watch. Don't be surprised if you get if damn, I don't even want to say it. Alvin Kamara gets traded for a second round pick or some shit like that.
I mean, I'm sure they'll listen, but I don't think they can trade him because they just extended him, and that'll hurt their dead cap. But
Bro,
yeah, I
the
wouldn't
Saints,
it
I'm
wouldn't
pretty
it
sure
wouldn't shock me though.
the Saints are looking at all of their players that they can possibly trade away, and then calling teams like the Jets, the Lions, the Jaguars, even the Bengals. They need offensive line help. You know what I'm saying? Calling
And
these teams and saying, "Yo, what can you give us?" I'm pretty sure this, just like last year, this draft is going to be crazy.
I
But
mean,
we're done.
speaking of Detroit and the Saints, I mean, Michael Thomas, the Lions need wide receivers. You telling me the Lions will say, "Hey, look, we'll give you a first or a second round pick, or we'll give you some picks for Michael Thomas."
Yeah,
I mean, that makes sense. There's a
yeah.
lot of players that they can definitely trade. Kamara, I guess they can trade Kamara. This is one
And
of the
don't
guys,
look. Let
and
me
and
tell you
teams
something.
need running back. And Kamara on the Bills, bro.
Yo,
If I'm the Bills, I have the 20-something pick in the NFL draft, and the Saints are telling me, "Oh, Alvin Kamara is available. We want a first and a second." And I just barely missed, the title game
here,
with no run game, and
take
I'm
them.
like, all right, I'll give you a first and a third.
Yep,
Take
that's
them.
my counter. A first and a third for Alvin Kamara.
You're not gonna find anyone better.
Nope, he's
Chances
already
are
established.
for a win now team.
Yep.
Taysom Hill, nobody wants
And
that.
and just to put like the the look on it, right? You got a team like the Rams that just pushed all the chips in and they made it to the Super Bowl. And if they win the Super Bowl, it's gonna look, a lot of teams are gonna look at that. This is a copycat league. A lot of teams are
Copycat
gonna look
league.
at that and say, "Hey, f that draft. Let's go get Alvin Kamara. Let's go get Michael Thomas." You know what I'm saying?
Will Lutz, trade target, kicker.
And then then look also, right?
Yo, Dallas, hey, you want to give up a fifth round pick for a kicker? Will Lutz has a boot. He kicks indoors. He's clutch.
And then also look, don't be surprised, bro. The Lions might shake this thing up. Lovey Smith is going to shake some things up. Let me tell you why. Because me personally, I think
Texans.
Lovey's. I mean, I'm sorry,
Texans.
the Texans. I'm sorry, the Texans. The Texans are going to shake some things up because if you look at the way Lovey was put in there, and me personally, I think Lovey was just put in there. He did. They might as well call the Houston Texans the Titans. Remember the Titans? They put him in there, expecting him to fail, and then if he turns
So
his
what?
team,
So they could fire another black head coach?
that's hey, they ain't gonna go down that road.
We gonna address this topic pretty
not
soon.
tonight, not tonight. We're getting off topic. So look, all right. So
Yeah, we definitely are. We're rambling right now.
just to you guys look, you understand that when you watch us, we're going all over the place. But all right. So let's just wrap this up, right? Let me get your Super Bowl prediction, and then let me know what you think the final score is and the MVP.
Oof. Okay. So hold on, because apparently ESPN wants to play in the back. Do you hear that? Did you hear that?
No.
No. Okay. So I just paid him my headset. So Super Bowl. We have Matt Stafford versus Joe Burrow, or Joe Burrow versus Matt Stafford, however you want to say it. Bengals. No one thought they would be there unless you were a Bengals fan.
Uh-huh.
Rams. A lot of people thought they were going to be there because they've been on it. My pick. It's hard because I don't want to say I have two picks because of the fact that if I'm picking with my head, I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams. They went all
But your
in. They
heart
have,
says the Bengals. But you got to pick one.
but something is telling me the Bengals. But I'm going to explain real quick why I say this, because I mentioned this earlier. The Bengals cannot protect Joe Burrow, and he's faced some tough defenses and he's overcome them. But he hasn't faced the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Donald, Von Miller coming at you, amongst other guys that they have in Los Angeles with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Ramsey, the best corner in football, against Jamar Chase, and we know how much he loves Jamar Chase. And they have T. Higgins and they have Tyler Boyd. They have other weapons, but you're facing David versus Goliath in a sense.
Yeah.
The Rams offense. Flip the switch. The Rams offense. Flip the switch. Flip the script.
But the Bengals, they got a slingshot with a big ass rock in it.
They do. They have a big slingshot. You know, they have a good run game too. But then their defense has been solid. They've gotten to the quarterback. Matt Stafford has been shaky. He hasn't been the most.
Right.
You know, he's been Matt Stafford.
Right.
Cooper Kupp's unstoppable this year.
Yep.
They're getting running backs back. Odell Beckham's getting open. He's getting his opportunities. And Odell Beckham, who's sticking Cooper Kupp on the Bengals? Cheeto? We've seen Cheeto.
All right. I don't want to laugh at Cheeto. I'm not laughing at Cheeto, but I'm just saying, like, nah. I mean,
so
Cheeto, shouts out to him. Now, I'm not we're not hating on him. I'm just saying, if I was a bet man, I would say no.
So I'm gonna give you my prediction though. The Bengals have overcome all the odds. I think the Magic season continues. I think it's been a weird sports season.
Whoa!
I'm gonna go Bengals win this one.
Whoa!
31-28.
Woo!
Their kicker, last second, clutch.
Who's
game-winning
MVP?
Field goal. MVP, Cool Joe Burrow. Burrow wins the MVP.
Wow.
I'm taking.
I like
I'm taking the Bengals. And if I'm a betting man, which at times I might be, I'll take the 4 points that the Bengals are being given. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be a 3-point game either way. Again, if the Rams win, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm gonna take the Bengals because Magic season, Joe Burrow, and they have a kicker. They have a kicker who is clutch. And if the game's on the line, I trust him. And he's proved it. Okay.
I am going to go. I'm going Rams.
Typical.
I'm going Rams. I think that defense. Aaron Donald was in the Super Bowl. He had a taste of that. He understands that you can't just get back to the Super Bowl. He's going to have those boys ready. I think he's going to be ready. I think he's going to be willing to be extremely disruptive. And Jalen Ramsey, I think he's going to be ready. I think that defense is really going to show out. I think the score is going to be. I think the score is going to be 33-23.
Wow.
Rams. 33-23 Rams. Yeah, I think that defense is going to show up just to shut them out. Last probably a couple minutes of the probably last 4 minutes, 33-23. They're going to shut them out, either get a big pick, big sack fumble or something like that, just to end that season for them. And the MVP is they're going to give it to, I think there's going to be a defensive player that's going to play pretty good, or Cooper Kupp, but they're still going to give it to Matt Stafford because he's quarterback.
So you're going the traditional route. You're going the favorite team, the quarterback, and the defensive players, the key guys that are going to do it. So let me put this in it. I don't know if this is going to show, but I just want to put this. I wrote it down as well. um chat predictions of the Super Bowl that the Cowboys should have been in, but
Oh, we got a chat here. Where's the chat?
there's a chat on the bottom right. It's through Twitch. I don't know if Twitch shows it.
Oh
I
no,
do
we
have
can't
the
see it.
Twitch
It's okay.
up
It's okay.
because it does show it on Twitch. So if we save it, it does save it there.
It's all right.
But yeah. So there's the predictions for Super Bowl. I'm gonna again. I just Bengals have had a magical season. It's been a weird year for sports teams and sports the sports franchises. The Bucks winning, which not saying that no one really expected them, but they overcame Brooklyn. Um, in baseball, Atlanta overcame a lot of odds and won the World Series when no one really thought they would. In hockey, we had the favorite team win the Stanley Cup, so it doesn't really matter. But I think Joe Burrow has it, and in part because I hate the Rams too. I hope they don't win it all either. So, but
Well,
yeah, that's pretty much it. We didn't even get the coaching yet. We didn't even get the
I
coaching.
know.
So the
Yeah,
next
I know.
episode,
There's so many
coaching.
topics that we could touch on, but you'll definitely be seeing more of Zay and Zay. We appreciate you guys liking, subscribing, sharing all this. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please tell a fan to tell a fan to tell another fan. And if you're not a fan of the Cowboys, you can still, subscribe. Like we said, we talk about a whole lot of stuff on here. We appreciate you guys being on the first episode of Breakdown.
Breakdown, the first episode, definitely. Yeah. Tell a friend
Yes.
and tell a friend. Tune in, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We're just starting off, but we're doing this for ourselves. We always said after
Yeah.
games, before the games, we talk ball. And we figured, why not, put it in video for ourselves and for other people to enjoy. And we want to build a community. We want to build a bunch, a community and not a fan base per se, but we want to build a space where we can just talk ball and not talk ball to trash talk, but talk ball to literally talk ball and
Right.
Communicate back and forth and give up different ideas and thought process of what's going on the field, off the field, and different topics. We'll talk about different things, not
Right.
only just sports, life. We mentioned head coaching. We mentioned different things throughout our lives that we always touch base upon, because life is life, and it's always good to let it out some way, one way or the other, whether it's in the comment section or through video, which we can have special guests and things of that nature. We're more than willing to do that. So
Yep.
definitely look out for things like that. Again, signing out, Zay and Zay. My name's Jose. That's Isaiah. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out, guys.